Hello everyone, Mike Henderson here. In this video we're going to take a look at how to get your word processing document into an EPUB and a Kindle Mobi file while at the same time retaining the formatting. Sometimes I like to do that just because I've got it set up all pretty and I think it enhances the reader's experience, and it also looks more professional rather than just a bunch of straight text spread all over the place. I've looked at a couple of programs for doing this. The one I found that is the best at it is Atlantis. I use two word processors. One is Atlantis and the other one is OpenOffice. Between the two of them, they do pretty much everything I need them to do, but they both don't do everything, and they both have their idiosyncrasies and their failings. One of the failings of OpenOffice is that it is a nightmare to get it into an EPUB and into a Kindle. They have an extension that is supposed to convert it into an EPUB, but it doesn't work right now anyway. Atlantis has a very nice interface and a very easy way to change these into EPUB and to Kindle. Technically you need to turn it into an EPUB first, so that's what it does. It turns it into an EPUB and then immediately turns it into Kindle if you have the program called Kindle Gen installed in your in the same directory as the Atlantis word processor. And if you download Atlantis, you can read about how to get that to work. And by the way, one of the other things I do like about Atlantis is that it has typing sounds. If you want. So for an old man like me who grew up with a typewriter, it's kind of fun. Just a little bell and a whistle, doesn't really accomplish much, but I like it. Okay, so I have a book all set up nice here, A Beast in Venice, a horror novel. And I have all of the front matter, so the also by and copyright, dedication, acknowledgments, and part 1, prologue, and then chapter 1. Now there's one thing don't worry about, because you could set this up to load it as a print book, so you've got page numbers. Technically should have page numbers here, so this is one of the reasons I use Scribus to typeset for paper, because I have a hell of a time getting rid of these odd page numbers and the headers. Well, this will be stripped when we convert it into an EPUB, so don't worry about that. One reason why you might want to do this is you get to use your own font and any fancy things that you do. So here's one, for example. I will take the first letter of the first word. Now, what we like to do sometimes is called a drop cap. So it takes a big letter and puts it first 2 or 3 lines at the beginning of the chapter, and it just adds a little jazz to it. Well, unfortunately, one of the things Atlantis does not do is drop caps. So you can typeset your novel without it, or you can use, if you want to do for print, you can use OpenOffice. OpenOffice does drop caps, although the interface to do that is a little clunky, but it does a nice job once you figure it out. So here we can't do it, but what we're going to do is we're going to just make a big letter, and just for the fun of it, we're going to make it different than the rest. So this is typeset in the Palantino linotype, or Palantino linotype. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go down here and find a font that I think is kind of fun, and we'll see what happens. Stone Temple. Looks like somebody carved a stone. Well, it's a regular size, and we want it to be big, so we'll just go 26. All right, now you see what happened. You pop the big B in here, and the B kind of looks like it's carved in marble or something, so it adds a little jazz to it. And that's all we have to do, so we're going to say File, Save Special, Save as ebook. Boom. Now I'm going to give it a name. All right, come on. Sometimes these things have a mind of their own. Jesus Christ. Alright, here we go. So, for nothing. Save. It already exists. Yes, we're going to replace it. Up comes a dialog box with your metadata. You should fill all this in. It helps people find your book. I'm not going to do a cover image in this example, although you can, and we'll insert an image at the beginning of the book. If you unload, if you're going to use this to upload to Kindle, don't put an image in here, so we forget about it. Save. Then we want the font, save and embed, and that's what this is all about. We have three options. Don't save, save but don't embed, and then save and embed. That's what we're going to do. No exceptions. I don't care about the margins. And that's it. Save. And now this will, this is a 350-page book, so it's going to crank on it, as you can see down here. And then in a few seconds is going to pop up a dialog box to run Kindle Gen. Here's Kindle Gen, and I have it in the same directory as I do Atlantis. And in that case, Atlantis will run it, as you can see, sort of automatically. So we tell it to run. Up comes the DOS command box. This is something you may never have seen if you didn't learn about DOS or computers, but this is how it all used to be. You had to type in a command in here and everything else before there was Windows. In event, old man like me recognizes it. It's cranking because this thing is blinking. It puts out a lot of stuff, and sometimes error report or something comes up. Don't worry about that. This thing will crank on this until it's done, and then it will disappear. You built warnings, or who cares? All right, it's gone. That's it. Now we want to look at the thing, see whether this conveyed, because sometimes the font, whether this will work, depends on the font. So you might have to do some trial and error, and that's exactly what we're doing. So we're going to go to the Kindle viewer. There's no file in here. I'm going to close that book. And then I'm going to open a book. It's in this file as A Beast in Venice, Redux for Nothing. Okay, it's opening. Please wait. And hopefully it will do its thing. You don't always know. Well, there's a sign that it might fly. It kind of popped in and out. It does that for some reason. I don't know why. There it is, A Beast in Venice. And this has the font. This has retained the font that I had at the beginning. So let's page through here. And this is Kindle Previewer. And I have it set up for Voyage. Just because I have the Kindle Paperwhite, and it's as close to that as it gets. Dedication, acknowledgements. Okay, it's all here, part 1. So it has the formatting and everything that we put into it. And there it is. So that's kind of cool. It has the beat, adds a little bit of jazz to it, and that's all there is. It's not a true drop cap, but it's a little something extra. But it's got your formatting, and then just like on your Kindle, you can go up here and change the font and font face. You see at the bottom it has publisher's font. Well, if it hadn't embedded it, it wouldn't show up that way. And then you can change this to, well, I'd rather look at Baskerville. It still has the B, so it converts the large letter into the Baskerville, so forth, whatever that is. Which is a hideous font, by the way, but anyway, that gives you an idea of how this works, and gives you a way to maintain your formatting.